Welcome back.
We're back, and hopefully this one's permanent.
What's today? It's today's Monday, September 25th. It is 6:39 p.m. The Bad Podcast, Brett and Drew's Bad Podcast, that is. Thank you for joining us. I'm Drew.
And I'm Brett.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend.
It has. It's been about a night.
Yeah. So last night we broke ground. Our first podcast, episode 0. Amazing podcast. Felt great.
Dude, there was a surge of energy once we finished that.
Dude, I honestly, that was the first time I've ever recorded myself for anything. And a podcast just seems like such an amazing way to get across this information.
Dude, we hit upon so many topics. So quick. We were just talking into the internet about all this shit going on around us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great podcast. And unfortunately, at the very end, software crashed and we lost all the professional audio. But luckily, we do have some of the camera footage, so we'll be making a rough cut of that later on.
Yep. So you'll hear the camera audio. So it won't be too high quality, but episode 0, the lost episode, will be available for true fans only. We don't know how we're going to release it yet, but
it'll happen.
It does exist. Sure. It does exist.
It's only a legend.
Dude, as soon as we finished, I literally jumped up and started jumping around. It was so exhilarating.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I gave you a huge hug afterwards. I was like, my dude, we did it.
We did, because like whoever records himself for like an hour and a half straight?
Not many people I know. Not anyone I know.
Nope. Yeah, no, I don't know anyone who has a podcast.
Well, that's behind us, and we'll be pushing forward from there. How was your day today?
Dude, today was interesting. Today was really interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had one class, so just rolled in there. And then I was like, didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of the day because I was supposed to have kickboxing at 7, but so I didn't know if I should have hit the 5 o'clock class or the 7 o'clock class, and ended up making the wrong decision, but because I missed it entirely. But we're here, and I'll get a workout after, so.
Yeah. I did a nice workout this morning on the rings. The full body weight one.
Dude, I had a recovery sleep after rolling out of here late.
I didn't get much sleep last night, man. I really didn't get much sleep at all. But like 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I guess I got like 6.5, 7, which is a good night's sleep for me.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's been worse. I mean, you'll see my sleep schedule start to drop off around final exam time.
There hasn't been an all-nighter yet. You and I are the kings. You're the king.
Dude, I really don't want to have to do any all-nighters this semester, man.
Dude, you're like a natural all-nighter. Like, I remember there's some nights where I'd be like, Drew, I'm going to do an all-nighter.
I'd be like, yeah, okay.
You'd be like, okay, I'm not. And you'd like, at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd be like, all right, dude, I'm going to go to bed. I'm like, dude, you already did an all-nighter. Like, it's already morning.
The sun is on its way up. I hear birds chirping.
And you just sleep till like 7:30 and be like, I feel nice.
I am a creature of sleep sometimes, but when I need to function, I don't always need sleep.
Yeah,
sometimes
dude,
I just
can
run
go
off nothing.
Yep. You can go off nothing, but it's just a little like foggy.
Yeah, I really don't care for the feeling of sitting in class after a night of like 3 hours of sleep because there's nothing that you can possibly do to stop yourself from closing your eyes in that class. It's like a struggle. It's almost like a battle to stay awake.
Hoff, dude. You got to fight it with Hoff.
I've done that, man. I've been sitting in class after an all-nighter and you just deep breathing like you're already on your 3rd cup of coffee and you're just doing everything you can to stay awake.
Dude, trust me, working on the beach, like you have to sit there for 7 hours. I've become very accustomed to doing Hoff all the time. People are probably like, "What is he dying? Like, why is he breathing?" So yeah, he's dying.
Have you ever fallen asleep in class like bad enough that like everyone's noticed?
I used to sleep in high school a lot, like purposely. But no, I don't think I have. I've never fallen asleep in college.
I don't think so either. I've definitely had my moments where like you're leaning on like your fist or something, and you just start to go. Maybe you're out for like 1-2 seconds. But I've never been out so long that like someone has to, hey.
Dude, actually, now that I remember, I did fall asleep in one class last year after we did an all-nighter. And like, I just remember there was like 30 minutes left and I was like, I can make it. And I was like, but I'm just going to lean on my arm. like you said, next thing, the person beside me just tapped me and they were like, dude, class is over. And like everyone was gone. I was like, oh, oops.
There was one kid in my in high school. He fell asleep in math class, and the teacher was actually a pretty funny guy, so he didn't do anything about it. Like everyone noticed, and everyone's laughing about it because it's high school. Everyone's like making a huge deal out of the fact this kid's just knocked out right over at his desk, and so the teacher's like, "All right, class ends in about 5 minutes. Nobody wake him up. Just let him go." So like, as soon as the bell rang, we had like a very light and quiet bell, so it didn't wake the kid up, and everyone just quietly like gets up, gathers their things. Even the teacher walks out because it's lunch, so he just like leaves the kid in there alone, turns the lights off, shuts the door. Like, he just left him in there asleep at the desk. So this kid wakes up in an empty classroom with the lights off and just like, oh shit.
At 6 p.m.
I saw him walking to lunch like 20 minutes late. Something woke him up.
Still, dude, that's the way to do it. Because he's like, oh, the teacher knew and he trolled me.
Yeah, because it's not one of those things where like the teacher embarrasses you in front of everyone. He just allows it to happen.
Yeah, he embarrassed him in a funny way.
Yeah.
Like he got the whole class on the teacher's side. That's what I like, dude. Because when someone falls asleep in class, a lot of kids are like, are you serious? Like, really?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're in that situation when all you want is sleep.
Trust me.
You know what I would have given for sleep in some of those classes after all-nighters where you're just like, oh, please. I should just walk out right now and go right back to my dorm and sleep. This isn't worth it.
Dude, I remember one all-nighter. I had this math packet due, and I finished at like 3 o'clock, 4 a.m., but I had the class at 8, so I was like, honestly, like, I'm just going to wait, just go and hand it in. And I ended up feeling like really sick around there. But I got there and I gave it to the kid who sat next to me and I go, we just hand this in. I haven't slept yet. And he goes, yeah, sure. So I went back. I didn't think anything of it. Next class, he goes, oh, by the way, we haven't handed this in yet. And he just hands it to me. And I was like, oh, dude, I could have just slept and then like actually got on with my day. Because if you get 4 hours, like it's not fun, but it's way better than none.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there was one time I pulled a real all-nighter where you don't even get to nap for like 15 minutes. And you work through the whole night and then you just shower in the morning. Like you actually slept and you start your whole routine again, like brush your teeth and everything. And dude, I started to get so lightheaded and my legs just started shaking. It was like I was about to pass out. I had to sit down and like do some deep breathing.
Wow.
Because my body was so deprived. And that was actually the day before we went to that beach with Gwen and Jenna, Chris and Bobby.
Oh, that place in Chris's neighborhood?
Yeah. It was the day before that. So when we were there and we were drinking, I felt so weak. I was freezing. I couldn't make my own body heat because I was just so deprived of sleep.
Wow.
It's crazy, man.
Drinking when you're tired is bittersweet because like it makes it better, but you're like, oh, I know this is only going to make it worse right after.
Yeah. You're doing that moment to moment pleasure.
That's how I live, dude.
Speaking of moment to moment pleasure, let's crack some beers.
Let's crack some beers.
And break some bread.
Today, as of yesterday, the same as yesterday rather, we're drinking Blue Moon Harvest Pumpkin Wheat. It's becoming fall, so beers are getting heavier and sweeter with all this pumpkin shit in them.
Everyone loves that pumpkin flavor.
Punky.
It's funny because like pumpkin is not really like. It's not really like a meal that someone would ever be like, oh, you know what I could go for right now? Some pumpkin. It's not like a common food or anything. It's just like strictly flavor in the fall, and that's it. Like if you try to hand someone some pumpkin shit in the middle of summer, they'd be like, what the fuck is this? Get this away from me. I'm not ready for this yet.
We should just put a pumpkin right in the middle of the table with forks.
Like
pumpkin, people just like the smell of it and like the general aroma. I feel like no one really likes the taste. Like, I don't even think you can eat pumpkin. I know you can eat the seeds.
I think you can eat it to survive. Like if
pumpkin
you had to.
pie, bro. Must be like a paste of pumpkin.
Oh yeah, it's just like some flavor. And I don't even know. I've never made a pumpkin pie.
Dude, pumpkin pie.
I need to diversify my cooking skills and make some nice pies.
You know, speaking of pies, it is apple season, bro. And C.N. Smith is right down the street.
Don't tempt me like that, man.
I think we should have a pie baking contest.
A pie baking contest?
Let's do it, dude. Let's go head to head.
If I'm making my own pie, dude, I'm making it edible.
Oh.
It's gonna be funky. It's gonna have that zoo in it.
Zoo, zoo.
A little extra kick.
Dude, that would be nice.
Mm.
I'll just roll something.
Just eat the pumpkin pie after you smoke
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Just get us there right away. Look at this puppy.
We got the incense burning. Pretty much exactly the way we had it set up yesterday.
I think it's time that we break some bread, ladies and gentlemen. This one is for you. This is our apology. Drew, shall you?
Off camera, of course.
It's tobacco.
Is it?
It is. Beer. Yeah, so I've essentially transported my bedroom into this room. This is all the trippy shit I could find from my bedroom. So I went home last night and I literally had one light. And my room was so dark.
Looks like you've moved out. I like the things you brought here. You brought this beautiful rat skeleton.
Shout out Nana.
Shout out Nana. At first, I thought it was real. You had tricked me at first.
Nana tells me that she's buying us a full-size skeleton. Just like that. Plastic.
We should decorate it seasonally.
We should. We got to name him.
What do we name him? No, we have to think of that later once we see him.
Jeremy.
It's like a baby, man. You can't name it until it's out there in the world. You're looking at it.
Yeah, because you get too attached.
I think my mom told me she was gonna name me. She was gonna name me Jacob, but it was that like typical story. She was like, "But when I saw you in the hospital, I was like, he's a Drew." I was like, "Oh, whatever."
Dude, my name was possibly going to be Cole.
Cole.
Dude, the Jake and Cole podcast.
That should be our name.
Jake and Cole.
Jake and Cole.
Dirt farmers.
The dirt. Yeah. We also came up with a slogan for this podcast last night during episode 0, the lost episode. It is toiling endlessly for nothing. That is our slogan. Because that's what we do here. That's what we strive for here at the Bad Podcast.
That is definitely what we were doing last night.
You guys should have seen us last night, or you guys or girls or however you self-identify. I don't want to touch on any too hot button issues here. But you should have seen us last night, man. After we lost the first podcast, we were trying so hard to see if we could pull up any remnants of it anywhere. We even recorded an apology video afterwards where we set the whole studio up again, recorded that apology, and then
Mr. Brett Lally, in his infinite wisdom, accidentally touched the power cord, and we again lost the audio.
So at that point we said, you know what? It's about midnight over here. We still have nothing to show for our hours of turmoil, and we might just call it a night and try again tomorrow.
Dude,
here we are.
Well, we edited that video with the camera audio again. The same mistake. And then we went to upload that to YouTube, and we were getting YouTube up. We couldn't even get the YouTube upload screen to go. So we were like, we're literally toiling endlessly for absolutely nothing here. And I was like, I need to go home because I hadn't eaten a thing since 2 in the afternoon, and it was after midnight.
It's all exercise, though, man. We really, like you said, exercised our podcasting muscles, really stretched it out, and here we are going for round 2.
It's a lot more long-form talking. Like, you really let the other person go for a little while. It's not like in a regular conversation, it's like boom, 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 boom. But here it's like you let them go, and then you think of your response.
I like it. It's totally different. Something we've never really tried before, and it's something that I think I'm totally unaccustomed to. You know, like being at like if you're at like a college party or you're just around campus, they train you on those like elevator speech topics. Just like, oh, like who are you? Like, what's your major? Oh, I'm this. And like exactly like the icebreakers.
One size fits all.
Like, oh, you get to know a little about that person. They get to know a little bit about you. But this is better because you get to go deep, right down to the nitty gritty.
Right down the nitty. We actually got into it last time with relativity versus like.
Yeah, we got a little too deep. We might have ruffled some feathers last night. I don't know, but we'll never find out.
Yeah,
we will though. We will for the secret episode.
I'm thinking that of the secret episode, we might have to like just keep it unlisted, and then make some like scavenger hunt to find the link.
Make like random drops of information.
But then now that I realize that only one person would have to do it, and they could just share the link.
I'm not worried about it. I want people to hear it because it was pretty interesting, man.
It was epic, dude. That was where it all started.
What were some of the things we talked about?
Dude, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, but now that I think about it, I probably jinxed it calling it episode 0.
Really?
Because everyone's like, why wasn't it episode 1? And I was just thinking, like, it's episode 0, start 0.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in programming, isn't 0 the
Computer
first
science,
integer?
it all starts with 0.
Yeah. So we were just trying to be technical with it. We were just trying to be exactly technically correct, and we jinxed it. The computer probably glitched out because of that.
That was why.
Didn't know what to do without that 1.
It's like, I ain't no computer. I'm a human. First integer, 1.
It's too sentient. Oh, speaking of pumpkins, I didn't realize there was one right in front of
Oh,
us.
dude, there's another little thing Nana bought us.
She bought this?
Yeah.
I thought she like made it.
Nope, she bought that.
It's a little orange pumpkin that's been spray painted green with a face on it. And it looks like stitches on the side.
Ooh, badass, dude.
Yeah.
It actually kind of looks like the Cookie Monster guy. Except not blue.
Oh, the garbage guy?
Oh,
What was
yes,
his
the
name?
rather
Oscar.
the garbage guy, Oscar.
Oscar the what?
Trash man. I don't know.
What were those creatures on Sesame Street? Were they supposed to be actual things, or were they just random? Were they just the weird ideas of these writers?
I literally remember Elmo, the bird, and I think there was some fish in a fish tank. I think it was a goldfish. I'm not sure.
Captive.
I vaguely remember there being a fish.
Dude, I was talking about this the other day of how you don't realize how weird the cartoons you watched when you grew up were until you watch them again as an adult.
SpongeBob's not weird, dude. Don't say that. SpongeBob is a great show.
SpongeBob, well, I say weird in the form that like you wouldn't think that this would be a kid's show when you watch it nowadays, you know?
What's a good example of that?
Well,
Well, we just said Sesame.
SpongeBob has those weird clips in them. Like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Did you ever watch that one?
I loved that show.
That was actually my sisters and I. That was our favorite show growing up, and it was so. Looking back at it, it was so trippy and just like
It makes a lot
weird.
of sense.
Yeah.
It definitely had some formative aspects on your personality.
Hey man, I wouldn't be the man I am today without Courage the Cowardly Dog to have guided my childhood.
You're making me look bad. You damn dog.
The whole back, dude. I was talking about the other day how this setting was literally the middle of nowhere.
Well, didn't they live in like Nowheresville or something?
No, it was like the way they started off was that they live in like a house in the middle of nowhere, and Eustace was a dirt farmer. Like he had this big plot of dirt. There was he was like a failed farmer. He had no
Eustace
crops.
was the original dirt farmer, dude.
Yeah, like what? He had that shitty truck, and they had the little rusty windmill that just kept spinning.
Oh yeah,
and that was where they lived.
creaked in like their B-roll.
Yeah. Damn, what was the whole point of that? Like, why were they in the middle of nowhere? Was that just to add to the spooky setting?
Yeah, it must be, dude. That Bigfoot episode, my favorite.
I don't recall the Bigfoot episode.
I remember, what was the wife's name? Muriel?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think that, like, she had invited him into the kitchen, and then, like Courage just, like, turned the corner, and, like, there was just Bigfoot in there, and then, like, they're hiding him from Eustace or something. Dude, that was a funny one.
Oh, and he was, like, friendly?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I remember that now. There was a bounty on his head, and, like, Eustace was going out like, I'm going to catch me a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Fucking dirt farmer.
You heard it here first. Bigfoot's real.
Bigfoot's real?
Bigfoot's real. It's fun to believe he's real.
I think we should try to capture ourselves a Bigfoot.
Should we go squatching?
I think we should go squatching as the Squatch.
Oh.
I think we should dress up as Bigfoot, or rather dress you up as Bigfoot, because I probably wouldn't make a convincing Bigfoot, and just have you run around the trails or something, you know, like run out of the trails in the middle of passing period and like slap some books out of a kid's hand, then just run back into the trails.
The thing is, monkey costumes are so unconvincing, dude. We need to get some Hollywood level shit.
Yeah?
If you're from Hollywood and can get us wicked expensive costumes, just leave it in the comments.
We could perhaps genetically engineer our own Bigfoot.
Dude, this is low-key my dream. we need to combine a chimp and a human to be the ultimate athlete.
And introduce it into the surrounding environments.
Just bring it back into humanity. He might not speak great English, but
What about the Neanderthal? Can we bring back the Neanderthal?
I would love to.
They have the DNA. They have it in like the marrow of some preserved bones I was reading.
Think we could get our hands on it?
I think we can get our hands on it, but I can't speak to as if we'll be able to do anything with it after we have it.
We'll give it to Bobby.
I can barely set up a podcast, man. I don't know if I can do any. I don't know if I can splice DNA like that.
Just a little bit of water, a little sugar, drop that DNA right in there, put it in the freezer overnight,
Fry it up in the morning.
and fry it up in the morning.
That's how it's done.
You just crack the egg.
Do you think that with the combined knowledge and resources of like BSU's science lab or something that we could make this happen? Like get some chemistry and biology students working for us?
Dude, I honestly don't know if they have that equipment. I really don't think they could do it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. They just got this like nice observatory. I think that's the best thing.
They're like, we can look at the clouds because it's always cloudy.
Yeah, you can't see any stars in Bridgewater.
No, you really can't. And you think that you could because it's like a little more rural than where we're, like, at least, well, Freetown ain't more rural than it's, but Holbrook is more rural than.
Yeah. Freetown's pretty woodsy. That's where we'd find a Bigfoot if we were looking. The Freetown State Forest.
Let's get it.
Or just, rednecks.
Dude, we got to dress Bobby up as a female Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And during the rut.
That's how you have to bait it in with sex.
Exactly. We got to be ready
Sex
with the
sells.
gun, though.
Do we want to kill it? So we're already on the board. Jury's still out on whether or not it exists, but we have decided we're going to kill it if it exists.
Dude, if it exists, I want to make it not exist anymore. I want to, dude, we're going to literally mount that thing right here, standing. We might have to make him like crouch because it's a little high.
Dude, I love that. That's like a trend in like TV shows. Like all these like, there's so many TV shows about finding Bigfoot, but I saw one on TV that was called Killing Bigfoot.
Ooh.
There's a TV show out there called Killing Bigfoot, and that's what I love is that with humans, we know what we want right off the bat. Like some of these other shows haven't even gotten to the consensus that Bigfoot exists, but this one show, this one series, they're like, we don't know if it's there, but if it is, we're gonna fucking take care of it.
It exists, and I want it on my wall.
Don't even want to. Do you want to study it? No, God no. I just want to kill it.
You can take pictures. One. $20.
That's probably the way it would go.
It really is. Dude, going back to the Neanderthal thing, I've heard that red hair in humans is a byproduct of interbreeding with Neanderthals.
Really?
Like, Homo sapiens never had it before they interbred.
I don't know. I feel like that's a real diss at like redheads.
You fucking Neanderthals. Can't wait till you go extinct.
Just like, oh, y'all got Neanderthal DNA, and he's like, what?
Dude,
Like,
my stash grows in a little more red.
yeah, I figured you'd be a little Neanderthal.
That's why I'm good at football.
Are you now?
Oh man, I was the best football player ever since even a little before I was born.
Football, man. That's a great topic.
You know we both love football.
Yeah, here at the Brett and Drew podcast, any form of sports ball is highly valued and prized. We do love our sports ball.
On Sundays, when everybody's getting ready, Drew and I are generally making jokes and hanging in the other room.
Yeah, Sunday used to be my church day, but it's solely reserved for the sports ball game now.
Yeah, I actually converted to the Church of Tom Brady. I'm sure we could actually get some tax breaks if we made that. We could get some converts.
For sure. Dude, what's up with the weird, like, just adoration of Tom Brady? Like, I understand he's probably one of the best athletes that's ever existed, but
I don't know.
People fangirl
The
and
best
fanboy over
athlete
him.
ever?
Yeah, hey, man, I'm talking as someone who doesn't know sports at all. I just know from what I hear, he's got to be, I mean, it could just be because I'm from New England.
I mean,
sure.
I would say quarterback, but athlete? Like,
Yeah, you're probably
I wonder
right.
how many pull-ups he can do. I wonder, like, if Tom Brady can do a handstand.
You wanna get him on the bodyweight workout with you.
Dude.
Like have him work out side by side and see if you can like just beat him in endurance.
Honestly, I don't think I could. Like, I think just with all the lifting, they have the greatest coaches in the world, dude. Like, there's no way that they don't know what they're doing. But I also feel like Tom Brady's just like, all he has to do is like study more of like the abstract game.
Mm.
Like it's more of like just put the ball where it is, and then that's it. Like he's more thinking of like the flow of the game and like where this person's gonna go. It's more of a
Right.
mental thing.
Yeah, it's like chess,
It really is, dude.
like field chess.
It is, dude. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about football.
I think it's really cool, and I'd probably get more into it had I been into it as a child. You know, like I was just never big into sports in general, so I don't think I ever like grew that love for it. You know?
There's not a single football thing or sport thing hanging on the wall at home.
Oh no.
Like my family watches it, but like there's no real diehard fans.
Yeah, my dad used to watch hockey a lot, and we would have people over for the Super Bowl. But I think that's just because it's part of our
Stanley
culture.
Cup or the Super Bowl.
I said Super Bowl, right? Yeah. For for the football game,
Oh, okay. I
that
thought
was
you
the
meant,
only that was the only game that like
Oh.
our family cared about. But that's because it's just part of like American culture at this point. Like you watch the Super Bowl,
I just like
everyone
the
watches
food.
the Super Bowl. I like the commercials.
Dude. Oh my god. I refuse to watch commercials no matter how well produced.
Dude, those are some of the best ads in the world.
Dude, are we gonna get ads on here, or are we gonna keep this shit grassroots?
It is way too far in the beginning. for
They
me to
could put
know
ads
that.
on our video without our consent.
And we won't make money from it either because we're
won't.
playing music.
Exactly. We'll have to learn this shit as we go.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. YouTube used to be a much different place.
Dude, YouTube has they got it. They got the greatest opportunity in their hands, and it's just sinking right through as
It's
they
like
just
sand,
make
yeah.
one mistake after another.
It's just falling between their fingers because people used to love it because of how like just open source it was. It was just a place to upload your videos and anyone could watch them. But now it's more of a business. It's more of a tool to make money. So now when money gets involved, people start to get weird. People start to get real weird.
Dude, especially camera died.
Intermission.
Excuse us for one moment.
But yeah, dude, once money's involved, it totally changes the game.
Because personal gain is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Like when someone dies, and like there's money involved and estates and shit.
Oh my
dude,
God.
people's claws come out.
That has been like the reason for most. I mean, every family has their drama and every family has their bullshit, but I feel like most family dramas come from that. Family members dying, and then some of the money is somehow split unequally, and people just get mad.
Well, hello, Vinny Banco.
Nope, it's Bobby.
How did Bobby get from upstairs there?
He must have went out the front door around. Bobby, come in here.
Bobby, come on in here, buddy. Bobby, we want you on, buddy.
We've been making shout outs, man. We need you to come over here.
Shout out Bobby Anderson.
All right, I'm looking at Bobby Anderson right now. He's in the kitchen opening the fridge. It looks like he's grabbing a, is that a beer? What do you got there? Looks like a torpedo.
Bobby doesn't want to be on the podcast.
Oh, he's going to be. He has to.
Bobby, will you give us 2 minutes on the podcast?
He's got to come this way anyway.
Bobby's busy.
Busy with that beer.
I'm busy getting fucked up.
Bobby. Can you shut the curtain?
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. What? Shut this curtain. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. What were we talking about?
Something about you giving me $20.
Oh, word. I don't have my wallet on me, but I'll after the show.
Cool. You could just hit me later.
Word.
Awesome.
Yeah, money. Yeah, people start like that. It's so weird to watch how animal people get once you like dangle a dollar bill in front of their face. People will do anything.
And it's not even like not like a lot of cases, it's not even like they really need it. It's just the icing on it. Like
Yeah.
it's like they're getting a little something.
It's security too. Like think about what people will do for a salary.
Oh.
Like you'll sell your soul for a good job.
Oh yeah, dude.
Even if the company's doing something like that you don't believe in. Like think about working at like Comcast.
Hello, Raytheon.
Yeah, dude, if you're working at Raytheon, you're manufacturing like equipment that you know will be used to blow up some like small villa in the Middle East.
Meanwhile, you get like the greatest benefits you could ever imagine. And like, if you just sit back and what's the word I'm looking for? If you just not resign, but
You just submit.
if you submit, if you sit back and just submit to the man, you will absolutely just be taken care of at every turn.
Well, yeah, that's the whole artistic piece that's been painted before us is like the American dream. You know, you shut up and work hard, and one day all the hard work will pay off because you'll be on top. You know, like you'll be the boss, you'll be the guy in charge, but you just have to work for whoever's in charge now until they're gone, and then you're sure to move your way up.
You've ascended the chimp hierarchy to the top chimp.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I get to make the rules.
It's crazy, man. People want power very badly.
Dude, because power is money and money is power. It's all the same thing. It's all influence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking from any like enlightened standpoint either, because fuck, I love money.
I hate money. I hate power. I hate influence, dude. I hate resources. I just want to starve.
Oh, there was a song lyric like that from a rapper. I can't remember who said it.
I'm not a rapper.
A rapper. Brett is a rappist.
I'm a rapper. Oh, no, dude.
That when you think about it, that would be like the correct term for someone who composes rap, right? Like an artist.
Rappist?
Yeah, there's music artists, and a subgenre of that is the rapists.
Yeah,
That one was
maybe
already
so.
taken, though. You don't want to be associated with that word.
Well, I guess there's rappers and then there's rapists.
Of course.
It's a subgroup.
Rappers who rape?
Exactly.
Ew.
The whole package, dude.
Shit. That's probably not where you want to be as a rapper.
Not necessarily, dude. Look at Kobe. He is absolutely doing well.
Dude, I was talking about that with someone too, is how a lot of times celebrities will make these career-ending moves that you think will ruin them, but then they're just right back in the mix.
And then there's always that Charlie Sheen who dives nose first into the ground.
Yeah. Remember Paula Deen?
Dude,
She
I used
recovered.
to love Paula Deen.
She recovered pretty quickly.
She really did. Well, dude, Paula Deen proved the AZ rule.
Yeah. But it's like everyone absolutely shit on her for that. Which
Rightfully
I think,
so.
yeah, rightfully so. And it was like, it was going to be her career ender that she wasn't going to come back from this. Dude, it was like 6 months and she was already signing a new television deal. Like, people forget about that shit real quick.
Well, maybe it's because the white old ladies who watch her don't give a shit.
That's exactly the thing. It's the networks that have to make, they have to keep up the facade, and they're like, oh, you know, this is unacceptable and this is not what we stand for. They release the super long, statement that they will be cutting ties, but that's only to maintain their like politically correct stature. So everyone sees that they do that, and just when the heads are turned and enough time has passed, they just let her back in.
No, yeah, the eyes are
Yeah,
off.
because they know that their viewers don't care. They just have to make that appearance and make it look like they tried.
I think that this is a great springboard to talk about a big current event, something that's blown up in recent times. And it's this Bridgewater State University teacher
Yep.
who has put a explicit Facebook message and has been supported by students and ousted by others. And it's pretty much a whole gray area, but it's gone to, I believe, national news, dude.
Dude, I've been seeing it all over Facebook. I've been seeing it on my news feed. It's crazy. And I haven't read too much about it. But, I mean, from what I can surmise, he just posted like a very, anti-Donald Trump statement on his Facebook page.
Correct.
And then one of his students found the status and then kind of ousted him, who like just a conservative student or something. And now he's just facing that backlash because people are saying that maybe he's trying to make it a environment that's not safe for Republicans or whatever the deal may be.
Dude, I have really only read his actual Facebook post, and then I read the letter that was composed by the Bridgewater students in support of him, and then I read the letter written by the person who had ousted him defending herself. And from that, Man, it's a real gray situation. There's no goods or bads. There's no black and whites.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to join you on the relative train here.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's just I heard it was an old status too. I heard it had happened like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. Did you read the email from President Clark?
I did not.
Yeah, all the students got an email, and it was like on behalf of the campus community, and just like basically him saying that he was in support of the professor. I mean, it's one of those things that I compare it to the whole like kneeling during the national anthem during the football
Dude,
games.
another hot topic right now.
I'm just like, I read his Facebook status and I thought it was kind of like distasteful, but it wasn't anything that would make, if I were like an active Trump supporter, it's not anything that I think would make me feel unwelcome in his class.
You don't think so?
I think that I would hope that it would raise the topic and that they'd be able to debate it or talk about it in class. I mean, I don't know like what his class was like. I don't know if he actively ranted about that in class and made it like a hostile environment, or if he was just putting out his opinion on his personal channel.
Because you really do need to be able to say those things. As hard as it is, he didn't like say, I'm going to hurt any Trump supporter who's in my class. I'm going to fail any Trump supporter.
Yeah, he didn't mention anything about class or the school or being a professor, I don't think.
The first line of it was essentially saying that he had students who are, I presume transgender students, who are afraid that they would be killed when he was first elected because of what they were wearing. I presume men's clothes or women's clothes.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
It's a hard situation.
I feel like unless the only people who really know what it's like to have him as a professor are the students who have had him as a professor. Like it just, from the outside, anyone looking in, it just looks like more political banter. I mean, seeing anti-Trump statuses has been nothing new over the past year.
Dude, people blow off a lot of steam on Facebook.
I've seen so much anti-Trump shit online, and I've also seen so much like libtard snowflake shit online too. Both sides are just really like rearing up for a fight right now.
I really don't know what I feel about this situation yet. I personally want to talk to the teacher, and I'd personally like to talk to somebody who had him for a class.
That'd be cool to get him on the podcast.
It really would.
What was his name?
I think it was Garrett something. I know the first name was Garrett.
I'd like to pull it up.
Young Jamie over here.
Pull that shit up.
Young Drew. Pull that up for me, Jamie.
What do we got here?
Suppose it's time to throw out a couple little shout outs. Dickie, we love you, buddy. You're always the first shout out here. I'd also like to shout out Alex Goss, Mike Kotleski, Chris Demers, Bobby Anderson, Vinny Banco, Nick Prisco. Let's throw some other shout outs.
Well,
Connor
don't forget
Glasheen, Mike McGloin. Beer.
And the cup holders that beer sits upon.
Wow, I almost didn't get that. I didn't get that. I'm glad you said it. See this right here? Look at this nice, custom, beautifully sewn cup holder. It's not a cup holder. It's a coaster. Remember I forgot that word for like a solid 10 minutes the other day?
Oh my God. Here we are at the Bad Podcast. We don't know what coasters are.
Wait, hold on. Coasters made by our friend Gwen. Gwen, thank you so much. You're a sweetie. You're probably our biggest fan and probably the only person who's still watching at this point. So we thank you for coming into our life and becoming such a good friend so quickly. And I think that does it for shout-outs. Shout out Uncle Joey.
And shout out to Garrett Nichols, who is the professor that we were just talking about.
Name drop.
Garrett Nichols. I would love to have you on the podcast and we can talk some Trump talk. Talk some politics.
If you know Garrett Nichols, please help us get in contact with him so we can talk. I honestly just, because nobody knows what this dude is, what he's saying.
I'd love to have him on and then have the student that like ousted him on.
That could never happen at the same time.
No,
The first
absolutely not.
the first fist fight on the bad cast.
We could just, yeah, we could organize it and not tell them.
Oh, dude, no, we can't do that.
We're just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be next Friday at 5, and then you just tell the other, next Friday at 5. Yep, please come through. We'd love to talk to you. And we have one walk in the front door, one the side door, and they just both meet in the middle.
That would be bad, dude. They would leave. Both of them would leave.
Yeah, that'd be some Maury shit.
That one. He is not the father. Like, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
That's what, dude. That's really what this podcast is about: is hearing shit that's happening around us and being able to let the person, whether they're right or wrong. This dude could be. We don't know. He could be bad. He could be good. But the whole thing is, we want to give him a fair shot to say what he has to say.
yeah, and same with I would love to hear the genuine viewpoints of everyone else that's saying that he shouldn't be making statuses like this, because I'm all for free speech. And I know free speech is one of those things right now that is becoming that gray area where people want to there's a very gray line right now between free speech and hate speech.
Absolutely, dude. Great point.
And it's like really freaking everyone out. Everyone's really on edge.
Because that's a Thomas Jefferson quote, right? Where it's like, oh, actually, I don't believe that's a Jefferson quote, but it's like, I don't agree with a word of what you're saying, but I would die for your ability to say it. I butchered that, but I got the
Close
basic
enough,
idea.
though. Yeah, that's the same thing as the whole kneeling at the national anthem thing that's going on right now too.
What do you think about that?
See, again, coming from a non-sports background, I'm so apathetic about it in general. I just don't care that much about sports, and I really like it doesn't affect me. So it so obviously doesn't affect me when someone's either kneeling or not kneeling, that I just find it hard to be mad at someone for that. But I totally see the argument of it being disrespectful and whatnot. But I think that if the message behind it is strong enough, then it's a perfect symbol.
I feel like people are treating the national anthem like it's the line where you sign your consent.
Yeah,
to
like I
be
feel
an
like
American.
they think of the national anthem like the Constitution.
Yeah, it's like
you know?
if you don't pay absolute respect to every single one, then you are absolutely not an American anymore, and you should be gunned down in the streets. But that's not how it is. You need to understand. Maybe this dude has a point. Maybe he doesn't. What do we got there? Camera still on? Oh, you stopped recording that one.
Just to there we go.
There we go. We could probably cut that little bit out. We're almost out of our first incense. It's amazing, like, how you just stop smelling something once it goes for so long.
Yeah, but I'm sure if someone else walked in the room right now, they would be like, whoa, way too much incense in here. Like coughing, walking up the stairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see, but there's a smoke detector directly above me. And it's just a countdown of how many episodes until that smoke detector goes off.
Yeah, we've had smoke detector problems before, so hopefully right now isn't when it's going to strike, but you never know. Oh no, this one's way more high-pitched and like mind-numbing.
Oh,
It hurts. There's
just
one right
wipes your
above my
mind.
bed.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I had that when we were in the dorms. About 3 feet above my head was the speaker.
Oh.
No bueno.
Oh, I wish you lived in Shea Durgan when I did. We had this winter where the fire alarm kept going off like over and over and over again. Happened 3 times in one night in the middle of a blizzard. So we were all standing outside, like right in the front of Shea Durgan, in the middle of like the largest blizzard of that year, and it wasn't even plowed yet because the trucks hadn't come through. So all these students are like in their pajamas and they're fucking standing out there like knee high in the snow, barefoot pretty much, and everyone's just freezing cold. We were out there for I think 20 minutes, and they had to open up ECC to let us in because they couldn't get the fire alarm to go off.
So it wasn't plowed and you had to walk to ECC.
Dude, it was crazy.
Down
It was
that
like
hill?
the March of the Penguins. Like there was snow whipping in our face, and people were falling over. There were shoes and like scarves left like all over the ground. Like people lost shit.
And it's clearly like an error.
Yeah, Like, they just couldn't. That's the thing. They couldn't let us back in the building by law because the alarm was going off, even though, like, the fire department has already been there and they said that it's a faulty alarm. And, like, but they can't let us back in even the lobby because it's just, like, I mean, if, God forbid, something had happened, BSU would be hella liable.
Oh my God, dude. In my high school, if you went to Spelman with me, shout out. But the principal at the time, there was a bomb threat written on a bathroom wall, and the principal erased it, dude, because it was like one of a series of ones that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But can you imagine just erasing a bomb threat? Like, what if that was the real one?
That would suck for him.
Her,
and everyone involved.
dude, are you a fucking patriot?
I shouldn't have assumed. I shouldn't have assumed like that. That was bad for Zer. No, that's not even right.
Oh, gender. We need to get
What do you say?
We need to get a graph of gender pronouns. They use
You
a
gotta
they.
come correct.
They, them
You
pronouns.
gotta come correct when you're putting this shit out online, because someone can just capture that one moment of me talking and just be like, "Look at this misogynist, sexist piece of shit, white cis male."
I've known Drew for a long time, and trust me, Drew hates women.
I was gonna say I've known Brett for a long time, and you can't trust him. You can't trust him for a second.
Don't trust me then.
Goes without trolling.
Drew, you got any shout outs, buddy?
Got any shout outs? No, you can't trust me either. I hate everyone equally.
What if we do anti shout outs? Canadian shout outs, dude.
Anti shout outs. Like, just shout outs to people we don't like.
You shout out the polar opposite of the person you'd like to shout out. I'd like to shout out Hitler, aka Jesus Christ.
Well, I'd like to shout out Jesus Christ. That's a good shout out. Jizo's a pretty cool guy.
Jizo was, dude.
Yeah.
It's that ideal that we all have to live up to.
Yeah, I don't like many organized religions, but I think that your boy Jizo probably stood for some nice things while he was around.
Jesus, he was a philosopher. He was not a prophet.
Yeah, you don't get remembered for like being a shitbag, you know? Like, he has to have been a good guy, if you can assume that most of those biblical stories are true.
Dude, literally our time is based off him.
There's one thing I don't fuck with, though, where he continues to repeat himself throughout the text and just like, "For I am the Lord." Like, if you're the Lord, you shouldn't have to be reminding everyone you're the Lord over and over again.
True. Dude, there's one story that I heard on the Jordan Peterson podcast that I really liked. And it was, so someone from his hometown had came and it was like, told him, Jesus, like, one of your uncles died. Like, you got to come home and like help us. Like, we're going to have to bury him and do all this stuff. And Jesus said, let the dead bury their dead. I'm out doing my Father's work right now. And again, butchered that one, but.
So what is his message there?
That he did not have a lot of time. Like, it's like the idea that your
He's working
mission
hard.
is bigger than you. Like, that thing that is, you truly feel called, like, why you're here. That is bigger than you, and it's bigger than the emotions that you have about an ape that was related to you.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he's doing the Lord's work.
Dude, he was here to give us Christianity to fight over for generations.
I mean, a lot of good came from that, but a lot of crusades.
A lot of
Other shit came
Are you
from it.
really a Christian?
Do you fuck with the Lord?
Do you fuck with the Lord? And we're going to finish this puppy off.
So, Brett, how religious are you? How has your religion evolved throughout your time here at BSU?
Well, I'll take it a step back before BSU. I was raised Roman Catholic, and before I started thinking, I was very, very much Catholic, just blindly followed it. And then my faith started corroding around 8th grade, and I then went to a Catholic high school where I encountered a lot of teachers who hadn't really examined their beliefs, and at that time I was kind of an asshole who had something to prove, so I would ask a lot of leading questions, and I kind of like swapped from being super religious to super militantly atheist, and that carried on through all of high school, but I backed off it in the end. I just kind of stopped caring. But when I came to college and majored in philosophy and started talking about all this shit, and we started talking about God in like a more practical way, like more of like a total, like literally the totality of everything, like the realm in which we exist, like all thoughts and all things, like that's God. It's not a man. It's just like the infinite.
Right, right.
And then I started coming back, and I started like the needle, like the pendulum swung like one way and then the other way, and then it just landed in the middle. And now I'm much more of there's definitely something bigger. Like there's some universal power. There's some like that energy that makes all living things live. Like
Right.
for all intents and purposes, that's God to me.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much on the same page with you, man. I had a somewhat Catholic upbringing. Definitely not as heavy as you because you went to a Catholic school. Catholic schools, by the way, I feel like are a great way to scare people away from the religion.
Dude, there's a lot. Dude, Spelman was a good school, and there was a lot of people who really. And it was easy to get into Catholicism there. Like there was electric guitars at the masses and stuff. Like it was not hard. It was not like.
Well, they market it to the youth.
Exactly. They put that that little youth stamp on it.
Dude.
Cool Jesus.
Yeah, have you seen all those like mega churches online?
Oh, Joel Osteen.
Yeah, like those huge. They're like concerts. Like people are lined up. There's like glow sticks and shit, and they're like bands playing.
Dude, I heard that there's like a donation machine there, where like you can just put your credit card in and just donate to the church.
Tax free.
Tax free, baby. Dude, this is a church now.
I think that using the church route is a great way to stave off taxes.
I think so too. We gotta, dude. Let's just talk about God for like a little bit every episode.
I think that's a movement.
I think that God is most accurately portrayed as a cold beer.
Dude, agreed. I would cheers you to that, but you're empty.
Cheers to some water.
Perfect.
May it kill my buzz.
Yeah, religion's a heavy topic. But yeah, I went to CCD, First Communion, and that was about it. And at that point I had believed it pretty much up until high school. I maintained some element of faith. However, I started asking a lot of questions when I was in CCD, and I wasn't really satisfied with a lot of the answers that some of the nuns would give me because it was pretty much school with nuns, you know? I got in trouble once because I asked them if I was really young. I must have been like 8. I asked them if spirits were real, then wouldn't that mean ghosts are real? I'm just using kid logic here, you know? I'm like, oh, like spirits and ghosts, of course. So I asked her, and she got so mad at me, dude. She brought me down to this like dungeon-esque area in the basement of the church, and like sat me alone at this desk, and she was like, "Now you sit there and think about what you did."
You're like, I still don't know.
Does this mean ghosts are real? Like, it was like I was being punished for like leaking the truth.
That means don't think about it.
She was like, "How disrespectful."
Dude, I remember I forget what class it was. It was one of my religion classes, but the idea came up that animals don't have souls, so your pets aren't going to be with you in heaven. And like everyone was like, "Oh, I don't believe that." Like my dog's coming to heaven with me.
Because that's like a make or break to some people.
It's like, Katie, no. Katie is going to hell. All animals go to hell.
What is the premise is that they're animals, so they just don't have souls? They're just like machines?
Dude, it's based off some like, what was that philosopher who said that? Oh, is that, I think, Descartes, I think therefore I am guy. He says that animals were literally just machines. And they're just there to be dominated and used at our whim.
Well, yeah, you have to tell people that if you want to continue farming them at such a crazy pace. Like, if you are a truly religious person and you believe in the afterlife for, an afterlife reserved for good people, I mean, you would think that your, I don't know, your family pet would at least be there with you, if it's supposed to be such a sick place. Like, I would hope that my beagle is there from when I was a kid. That would be sick. I mean, I'd be pretty disappointed if I didn't have my dog there.
Dude, I'm pretty used to living without my old dog. So I'm pretty indifferent.
Well, yeah, I don't think I would let it guide my faith at that point, but I mean, you never know.
If you convert to the church of Brett and Drew, your animals will come with you to heaven.
Please convert now.
Convert on brettlally.com. Registered minister.
You do have to sacrifice them for the religion, though, for them to get there. That is the one loophole, but it can happen.
Dude, you remember the movie The Big Lebowski?
Oh yeah,
Have you ever heard of the religion dudism? It's entirely
I've heard
based
of it, but I
around
don't
dude.
know. I don't know much about it.
We should just become dudist ministers.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think we'd make good ministers.
Dude, let's marry some people. I now pronounce you chimp and chimp. May you dwell in truth now that you can't get away from each other.
We will bond you together in holy macaroni.
Dude, what do you think about that whole idea of like, that's like what marriage is for, is that because you have no escape anymore, you have no choice but to dwell in truth with each other. It's the most truthful relationship that you'll ever have.
I feel like marriage stemmed from like property rights bullshit.
Think so?
Yeah, like when you die, you leave behind your house to this lady.
I really don't want to think that.
I feel like that's why we started it. I mean, marriage, not like monogamy in general, but just the idea of like an official binding contract to like permanently bind these people together. I feel like that's all property rights. Like, you know, you'll work your entire life, and when you die, all of your belongings will now be the property of your wife and kids.
Dude, I agree to a point, but I also in some way think that humans have recognized that truth is the ultimate good, and for some reason to dwell in truth with somebody is infinitely more valuable than to just dwell in falsity. And the way to dwell in truth is to be somehow tied to this person. Because you can't get away, you have to tell the truth, and it makes you go through all these ups and downs. I feel like because we have these transcendent ideas, marriage is a byproduct of them.
I don't know if to dwell in truth you need like a legally binding, not even legally. I feel like you don't need like this binding contract or this social contract to get there. I don't know. But like I see where you're coming from. I mean, I don't think it's worked out very well for a lot of marriages.
It hasn't, but maybe they haven't taken it so seriously.
Exactly. I think it is a great idea to be reserved for those who will take it to the utmost, like the highest level of seriousness, really.
It's really like a sacred thing, and we don't think of it. It's like, oh, I love this guy. I'm going to get married.
Get a photographer.
I love her, dude. I'm going to marry her, dude. Like, meanwhile, it's like one of the most meaningful things that you'll do in your entire life besides birth a child.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about kids? Because I feel like you could go either way. I feel like you could totally not worry about it, but I also feel like you'd love to have kids.
Dude, it's tough because like the logic in me is telling me that I shouldn't, and nobody should at this point because we're so overpopulated as it is. And I feel like that would be the responsible thing as a human to do, is to abstain from having kids. But like then you just have that core ape part of you that just wants to procreate, and you just want to reproduce.
I want a mini me.
More of me. More of me. Like why? Why does there need to be more of me?
Because you're a damn good person, buddy. And we need more good people like you and free-thinking people.
But we need less people in general.
So have one kid. Don't have 9.
But like, should I have a kid or should I adopt a kid? Like, will it be the same effect? Like, what if I just get a bad egg? Is that a thing? Can you get a bad egg?
What if you adopt a bad egg?
It already has to be ruined by like whatever parents it had.
Adopt a 19-year-old. 17 years and 11 months.
You're just like, all right, I'm gonna raise you now. Here's the new ideals you live by.
My month from hell.
Well, you could probably like adopt a 17-year-old and then just have them be like the assistant for the podcast.
Oh,
Nice loophole.
dude, let's adopt someone.
It's like indentured servitude.
You want to get married? Do you have to be married to adopt something?
I don't know.
No, there's tons of single people who adopt them. Would you ever do that if you never found Mrs. Right? Would you still raise a kid? Would you adopt a kid so you could put your great imprint upon him or her or her?
I'm not entirely convinced that my imprint is good enough to be like duplicated.
I got a lot of baggage.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't like if I was like doing this for some I don't know, I feel like no, that's a shitty example. I was gonna say if like the fate of the world depended on it. But I don't see there being like an insane positive impact by like putting a new person onto the earth and just trying to like set them on this good path. I feel like well, I think that's a great way to come about positive change, but I feel like there are more efficient ways if that's your ultimate goal.
Can I see your laptop? I want to look
Yeah.
up a quote.
Sure.
Have you ever heard the Emerson quote of success?
No, I haven't.
So Ralph Waldo Emerson, the transcendentalist and a man who's so much smarter than I will ever be.
That's the thing. How could you put a child into the world knowing that he'll never be the man Emerson was?
None of us will. To do anything but good is bad.
Exactly.
Okay. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, a quote on what it means to be a success. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a little better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is the meaning of success.
I love that, man.
Dude, it's just saying there's levels to it, man. It's just like Kendrick, bro. There's levels to this shit.
Ah, dude, it's all about the money.
It's all if you don't make a ton of money, you failed.
Whoever dies with the biggest pile of shit wins.
My pile of shiny rocks is huge.
That's what everyone wants, man. Like, no one cares about making other people's lives better. I mean, they might seem to sometimes to, like, portray that image that to kind of, I guess, validate what they're doing.
Dude, I think that there's a huge difference between wealth and riches. To me, it's very much underappreciated nowadays. Someone will go to the grocery store and fill a cart full of healthy, nutritious foods, all different colors, meat, vegetables, starches, whatever it is. And then they get up to the register and they don't want to have to give them that card or give them that paper, that $150, $200, whatever it is, because that is somehow more important. Meanwhile, that is riches, your money. What you have in front of you is wealth. That's what's going to sustain you, man.
Yeah.
That is truly like in a life or death scenario. It's like, do you want this or do you want this piece of paper? And it's like, I will take.
But you can redeem the paper for anything.
Now, but like,
Yeah, like
in a life or death, and like say like we're in some like post-apocalyptic shit.
it's all, dude. It's just part of the machine. Like if your currency isn't tied in with your government, then there's no way that they can control that.
Dude, how do you mediate between like knowing that Western society just tries to make us the perfect worker bees while also knowing that doing a lot of work feels really good?
I still don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like the forcing of people into like cubicles and in jobs that they fucking hate. Just like what we were talking about earlier, just under that like presupposition that one day after you've traded in valuable moments of your life in like to this cause, you'll never know if that, I don't know, I lost it. But I don't know, you'll never know if the time that you traded in for work will actually equal the output to the happiness you think you're getting, you know?
Like, are you saying the happiness you'll get in the end
Exactly.
when it's succeeded?
Like people are always working towards something else, you know? Like you get the good job and you're like, all right, like if I just work a little bit harder, you know, I'll get the next position. I'll get promoted and then it'll be so much better. But then once you get that point, you're like, all right, the grass is still greener on the other side. You know, if I keep going, if I work even harder, I might get like the regional manager job, and then I'll be like, then I'll be happy.
dude.
Like that's what I want. But then once you get there, you're like this is sick. But like I'm only a couple steps away from that. So let me just keep going. And by the time, like you've just kept pushing and pushing, and by the time you're like old and decrepit, you're in this like who knows? It might be a great job. You may be making a lot of money, but like I don't think the feeling of happiness you got when you got there was anywhere near what you thought it would be. You know?
It's like that Gandhi quote. It's you might never live to see the change that your good actions brought about. And I butchered that quote for the third time there as well. But I got the idea.
We're not intellectuals here, man. We're just
We're not,
ranting
dude.
about
We're
shit.
fucking dairy farmers through and through. But so if you live your life knowing that you'll never see these good things, then you're gonna work for a more ultimate good than one that's just directly good for you. It's more good for everybody.
That's the thing, man. That's where the happiness comes from, is actually finding something good to do with your time. Finding something that you just know is for a good cause deep down, that you don't have to fool yourself. Like when when you were working at Raytheon, there was no way that you could fool yourself that you were actually happy there.
Dude, it was instant. It was like you just know in your heart. You're just like, dude, I just see these people just selling themselves for comfort, and like it's just like a warm shower, dude. You just get to sit in a warm shower and you can perpetually just turn it a little bit warmer and warmer at a time.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to just dive into it.
Dude, absolutely. That was another thing too. Cold showers we talked about yesterday. Took a nice cold shower this morning.
Did you?
Felt great.
Dude, I eased into a warm shower, but as soon as I turned to cold, I ended up spending another like 5 minutes in there. Just because I just don't want to get out.
Dude, it feels so good.
Dude, once you can feel the pleasure in it, pain and pleasure are just like we just apply them to different sensations.
Yeah, they're just ideals, man.
And once you start feeling how you're like, this feels so good, I feel strong, instead of just focusing on the fact that it's kind of cold. Then that's when you really start enjoying it.
Yeah, I always find, dude, just like I said yesterday, I always find after I get out of a cold shower to be the most exhilarated I've felt all day and will feel.
Dude, I actually just remembered something going back a little bit about how you said that you have to really do something that you want to do, and how we were talking about Raytheon. It's important to live life doing the thing that you would do for free. If there was no such thing as money, what would it be that you did all day?
Dude, that's why we're starting the podcast.
This is what we're doing.
Like we're not making any money right now off of this. This is just pure fun. Like we just get to sit here and ramble, and we can go back and look at what we're talking about, and just we get to learn our ticks. We get to learn like what we don't like about ourselves, but we also get to learn our better qualities, and we can improve upon those.
Dude, you can start seeing it and pandering to it in every decision you make throughout the day.
Yeah. Dude, I would do this for free all the time, because it's something we do anyway. Like whether or not the mics are here, we're still talking about the same shit. You and I always ramble about pretty much what we've been rambling about this whole time.
Dude, that's really something important to me, is to continue doing things for free. Like I loved the idea of just doing work because you want to do work, and then just laughing in the face of them and be like, and just give it to everybody. Like, yeah. Just release it.
Yeah, dude. I do a ton of logo designs for a lot of my friends and my family members, and I'm not going to charge them for it. Like, sometimes they'll give me money. Sometimes they'll throw me maybe like $100 or something and just be like, thank you so much for what you did.
And then it's like, oh,
yeah,
wow, thank you, man.
I had a great time helping them out and being a part of their project. If you're helping someone that you truly care about, it really doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun.
It does, and when it's fun is when you really dive into it and do the job right.
Mm-hmm.
Through and through, you look at every little piece.
Dude, that's the good part of work. That's what good work really is. I feel like more people should strive towards that than just like putting themselves in some arbitrary job just because it's going to be, oh, this will set me up for a better future. Like I'm not having fun doing it and I hate my job, but one day it'll pay off.
Dude, it's like going back to like how we were talking about Jesus. Like, what's that thing you're called to do? It's so cliche, but it's like, what do you want to do? And like, I kind of want to just sit around and talk into the internet for a bit and record some
Yeah.
conversation with my boy like Drew and a bunch of other cool people. Like now we can just like navigate through life and be like, whoa, I want to sit down and have an hour-long free-form conversation with that dude.
Dude, absolutely.
And we have that platform.
No idea how long this podcast has been going on for.
I actually started a timer right when we hopped, and it's been an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah, hour and 13, huh?
Hour 13. I think that's a pretty good place, my dude.
Yeah, we started the podcast doing the Wim Hof method, which we talked about yesterday. Sorry again about that. But
dude, let's just release episode 0. Just put her up tonight too.
Dude, we have to.
We
have to give the people what they want.
Dude, let's pray that we get this audio file out of here alive.
Yeah, we haven't finished this podcast yet. No word on whether or not this whole thing will work out for us. We used Adobe Audition yesterday. Right now we're using Logic Pro by Apple. And man, we really hope that this one doesn't fail us. But I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
We dumbed it down. And now let's hope that we can just...
Yeah, I had to play with like the kids' toys before I could move on to Audition.
Dude, honestly, there's wisdom and simplicity.
Really though, honestly, I'm a minimalist by heart. You know me, dude.
You really are. Like it just needs to be the absolute minimum for you to just. But it's not like you're skirting by. It's like you're still doing things the right way. But like, and technology really just provides the perfect avenue for that.
I love tech.
You are, dude. You're a tech guy,
internet, dude.
Dude, I'll be in your room. I'll be like, dude, do you have a pencil? Do you have a piece of paper? This year you have them, but last year you're like, nope.
No.
Like me,
what do I need paper for?
I am the paper dude. Like I just write down everything. Like if I have a to-do list or something, like it's on paper.
Oh no, not me. I'll lose it.
Dude, every day. I don't think it's in my pocket. No.
I have to put it on my phone because I won't lose my phone. I'll never lose my phone. But I'll lose a stupid piece of paper that's in my back pocket.
And if you do lose your phone, it's on your laptop.
Exactly, dude. I'm smart. I back up to the cloud and shit. I don't fuck around.
There you go. Thank you, cloud.
Damn. Well, I think it's about time we end it off.
Dude, this is a good one. I really like this one. I think that like we're definitely the muscles strengthening.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep doing this. So next episode, we will be bringing you our good friend Christopher Demers, I hope.
Chris Demers, buddy. We're excited to have you.
He's a great friend, great roommate, great former roommate of Brett's.
Dude, I met Chris in track. I did track for about 2 weeks or something just to try it out in college. Ended up meeting this wicked cool kid, Chris, and like we were just talking and then we just started hanging out after and dude, just immediately became so close. Like we actually used to go to your place together. Like we team up and then go to the trap house that was Miles.
Yeah, I met him as a refugee. He lived like under a bed in my room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're excited to hopefully have him on. I mean, we're basically spouting this off before we actually have a confirmation, but he's such a good friend that we know he'll be on.
Yeah, Chris is going to pressure him. Going to be
in.
on there. So Friday, if not, I want to say Friday is the definite date. I'd like to squeeze one in before because why not? But if not, I think Friday is a good day to like hammer them.
Dude, I think so.
Friday seems to be a lot of people's like get out early free day.
Yeah, and that's also a great day for professors, which we plan on having on.
Dude, that is a thing that like I'm very much just heard your laptop shut. I mean your
camera
shut off.
Yours did too. Christopher Demers.
Yo, you want to stay to the left a little bit. Oh no, that's a good shot.
Alrighty.
You're good.
We on.
Sorry about that, guys. Our camera's shut. Ooh, I like that, dude.
I affixed the rat skeleton to my mic stand.
Dude, that's nice.
But yeah, anyway, so Fridays likely is the day we'll put out podcasts, or maybe Sundays.
I feel like Friday will be the heavyweight day, like try to make a nice podcast, and then maybe we'll do like a spare one on the side.
Yeah, we try to keep it real loose here over at the Bad Podcast.
Anything goes. But as I was trying to say, I'm excited for that podcast to take that turn. Once we
Yeah.
start sitting here with like a professor who's just coming in from the outside, like our friends are going to see this and like understand it, but someone else is going to come in and like start talking about what they do and why they do it. Like,
It's going to be really exciting.
it's going to bring a level of a little bit professional.
Yeah, because we're over here rambling, man. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about half the time. Like, we're mispronouncing words, you know. We're just, like, getting names wrong. But it'd be nice to bring a level of sophistication, you know, and learn from them.
Dude, absolutely. This is not just our platform, but just to showcase good people we've encountered.
Hell yeah. I think that's a great note to end the podcast on, man.
I think so, too.
Episode 1, The Bad Podcast. Thank you, Brett.
In the books. Thank you, Drew. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Endlessly toiling for nothing. See you next week.
Love you guys. Out. Play that puppy, Drew.
I'm on the edge of an empty highway, howling at the blood on the moon. A diesel Mac come rolling down my way. I can't hit that border too soon. Running hard out of Muskrat Flats, it was 60 days or double line. Hail at my back like a shotgun blast. High wind chimes in the night. Whoa, oh, pride of Cucamonga. Whoa, oh, red olives in the sun. Whoa, oh, I had me some loving in a done sometime. Since I came down from Oregon, there's a lesson or two I've learned. By standing in the road alone, standing watching the fires burn. The northern sky, it stinks with greed. You can smell it for miles around. The good old boys in the Greystone Hotel are sitting doing that get on down. Whoa, oh, pride of Cucamonga. Whoa, oh, silver apples in the sun. Whoa, oh, I had me some loving and I done sometime. I see a silver shining town, but I know I can't go there. Your streets run deep with poison wine. Your doorways crawl with fear. So I think I'll drift old where it's at, where the weed grows green and fine, and wrap myself around a bush of that bright. Whoa, whoa, yes, it's me, I'm the pride of Cucamonga. I can see golden forests in the sun.